A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. Okay, let us start with the first snippet. Here we have civilian deaths, not a good one to begin with. 𝐺𝐴𝐿G orders probe into killings in 𝐶𝐢𝐲𝐢𝐽. We have one word probe. Into killings, a phrase, and some particular place in 𝐶𝐢𝐲. And nothing as such. You know these words, we have got many a time. Good morning to all of you. And probe has two different meanings. I have told you guys many a time. One goes with police, investigation. In this context, it means the same. Another, some people try to find out what is happening in others' life, in a person's life. They try to probe. Then we say probing nature. That has a negative connotation. Here you have to take the first meaning. What is it? Investigation. Into under effective English. You should focus on those as well. That will help in the long run. Coming to the second snippet, you can see here ongoing operation. Ongoing operation means going on, not over, still on. One body recovered from tunnel in Telangana. I have read many a time the snippet related to the disaster, collapse of a tunnel, and 8 persons missing. Even finally, they could extract one dead body. One body recovered from tunnel in Telangana. All simple words, but when you see the word body, you should think a dead person. Then you should recollect words like deceased person, and also the word corpse. Corpse means what? A dead body. Those two words you should recollect. Coming to the third snippet, passenger's plight. This is an important word. This word was used many a time, almost every day, at the time of COVID lockdown. And many newspapers used caricatures also you can. But caricatures goes more with animal bodies. Who is that? Maleshwari. Corpse goes with persons, human beings, and caricatures goes with dead body of an animal. Subtle difference when it comes to usage. And at the time of lockdown, many migrant workers got trapped, got stranded. They had to suffer a lot. That time this word was used, plight. Passenger's plight. Plight means what? A miserable condition. A situation where you are not happy, you're worried, you're anxious. Then we say, mortuary, you have to recollect. Yes, who is this? Upendra. Looks like a new student. Passenger's plight. DGCA seeks report from Air India. A particular passenger, an old lady, I think, wife of a martyr at the age of 83, she was denied a wheelchair. And because of that, she was denied a wheelchair, though the wheelchair was booked. She had to walk. And while walking, she fell down and she got injuries here and other parts of the body. Regarding that, it was a plight of the passenger, a lady, age 83, and wife of a martyr. Unfortunate, based on that passenger's plight, DGCA seeks report from Air India. Seek means look for. Here they want a report from Air India. How did it happen? Whether it can be, obviously it cannot be justified. So why did it happen? Who are the people responsible regarding that? Coming to the next one, domestic production. Usually this item, news item or news snippet is important. Manufacturing semiconductor chips locally. India aims at reducing its import dependence. Today, you all know we import a lot of stuff. One of the things we import, chips from abroad. And today, because of Donald Trump, tariffs, obviously it is becoming a problem. Based on that, the government has taken a decision not to import but manufacture locally. When you see the word locally, very good. Who is this? Anand. You should recollect the word indigenous. The spelling is not correct, but I know what exactly you wanted to convey. And also Srinivas Rao and Gayatri, Maleshwari, Pavani, very wonderful. Indigenous. Indigenous means local, indigenous companies. You should recollect that word. India aims at reducing its import dependence. As long as we depend on imports, India is not progressing. But we manufacture and we try to export, then India is doing well. That goes reading between the lines, it is rather implied. Coming to the last one here, staying put. Staying put means being in place, being firm in a particular place. No plans to retire, says skipper Rohit. You all must have watched the yesterday Champions Trophy final match. India won, lifted the cup. Based on that, the skipper, the captain, makes a statement he doesn't want to retire in the near future. Staying put means being in the same position. No plans to retire, says skipper Rohit. You can see the pic also. That's all from the snippets. Let us go to the main headline from today's Hindu paper, first page or front page. Looks like in the north, let us see. Protests continue in Manipur, highways blocked. People block the highway, you can easily make out. Protests continue. Again, whenever you see the word protest, you should think of placards, slogans, procession, and crowd going awry, means helter-skelter, not under control, then attacking, vandalizing, and also looting. All these words you should recollect. Protests continue in Manipur, highways blocked. Looks like hurdles main. We have got the word hurdles many a time. Hurdle, hindrance, impediment, bottleneck. All these words again should be at your stone pelting, very good. Another, this is the actual pic you guys must have been waiting for. Gutsy India edges past New Zealand to claim ICC Champions Trophy. You can see Rahul and Jadeja at the other end. Mission accomplished. That's an important expression. If you watch James Bond movies, you see James Bond movies, they use one expression, mission aborted. Abort means to leave. But the other one also they use sometimes. What is it? Mission accomplished means achieved. What is the mission here? To lift the cup, to lift the trophy, to win the tournament, the championship. So gutsy means very strong. Gutsy India edges past means goes past New Zealand to claim ICC Champions Trophy. Delimitation, DMK MPs, ministers to visit 7 states to muster support. There is one important word here, muster. Muster means gather. Usually it goes with courage, confidence. Imagine you are under stress and you are under fear. Then you must gather confidence. Then we use amass also you can say. That goes more with wealth. But muster courage, muster confidence, muster support. Typical combinations you should know. Coming to the other snippets over here. Let me check. US Hindu temple vandalized with anti-India graffiti. Oh, in the US, that's a bit surprising. US Hindu temple vandalized. Vandalized means what? To damage public property usually. It also includes private property, but usually it goes with public property. Damage public property, that is known as vandalism. The person is called vandal. Vandalize is a verb form. And usually what people do, they try to damage public property, one thing. And sometimes when you visit a historical place, a monument, you see a lot of writing on the monument. Some nonsense usually. That is known as graffiti. Here the word graffiti also has been used, an important word. Graffiti. Both the things are important. Both the words are important, exam point of view. Coming to the next one, Congress calls for comprehensive changes to GST. We have got the cripple has a different meaning. Cripple usually goes with make something not functional. And cripple could be mental, could be physical. After the accident, a person may become physically crippled. After a shocking incident, a person may become mentally crippled. That has a different connotation. That goes with a different context altogether. Coming to the phrasal verb call for, you all know already many students have responded, demand for. And there's another word we have, many of our students know, comprehensive. Comprehensive, exhaustive, holistic. They all the three words are very important. Means what? Complete, touching every dimension. And usually they go with syllabus, policy, procedure, these things. Holistic syllabus, comprehensive syllabus, and exhaustive syllabus. Exhaustive is different, exhausted, different word. Over 1,000 killed in communal clashes in Syria. Another snippet talks about communal clashes in Syria. When you see the word clashes, you should think of an important phrasal verb. What is that one? Breakout. Breakout means to start suddenly. And it goes with what are the combination words? It goes with war, clashes, fights, fire, diseases, volcanic eruptions. So clashes broke out between the two communities yesterday. Imagine some incident. Suddenly they start. Then we should use. Breach has a different meaning altogether. And I have read out these two headlines. What else do we have? Here we have a beautiful pic. You cannot, though not clear, you can see tiger cubs. I don't think they are tigers. Look like tiger cubs. Not quite sure. Madhav National Park becomes India's 58th tiger reserve. An important GK bit, current affairs, they may ask, tiger reserve, what is the number? 58th. Madhav National Park becomes India's 58th tiger reserve. And here you can see a word like conservation counts. Conservation. The reserve has 5 tigers at present, including 2 cubs that were born recently. That's what I said, look like cubs. And when you see words like conservation, you should think of conservation, preservation, endangered, loss of habitat, extinct, poaching, contraband, confiscate. All these words again, they should pop up. Very flora, fauna also. That's all from today's front page. Let us go to today's editorial. Today's editorial, surprisingly, an easy one. Only 4 or 5 words, those words also for regular students, familiar words. This is the best part. I tell students, when I strongly recommend the students to read the Hindu paper. What is the reason? The same context you get in the exam, the same effective English you get in the exam, the same vocabulary you get in the exam. And initially what happens when you try to read the Hindu paper, you may find it irritating and frustrating for 2 reasons. One reason, you don't have the background information. Second reason, you have to refer the dictionary many a time to find out the words of the new words, then their meanings. That is a bit irritating. But the best part, when you continue reading, after some time what happens, many words become familiar and you will be able to understand the entire editorial. You will be able to know the meanings of all the words, and that is the day you have to look for. Then you're ready for the exam. And today's editorial, perhaps something like that. And if you ask the question, what is the benefit if I watch this video for 40 minutes or 45 minutes, only the editorial part? You will improve your comprehension skill. You will consolidate your contextual grammar knowledge, and you'll also get contextual awareness. You will improve effective vocabulary. All these are benefits. And besides, you're going to work on mini mocks, important questions based on exam topics. As I said, today, surprisingly, 3 or 4 words, all these words again, familiar words. What is the first one here? Breach. All our students know, we have got so many times, breach. Breach has 2 different meanings. One meaning, a crack, another meaning, violation of rules and regulations or some contract. It can be a noun, it can be a verb. As a noun, an act of breaking or violating a law, agreement, or code of conduct. These combinations are very important. Verb, to break or violate a rule, agreement, or barrier. More or less the same. When we say he has breached something, it has been used as a verb. When I say there has been a breach, it has been used as a noun. Meaning-wise, no difference. Example verb, the hackers breached the company's database, exposing sensitive information. Good example. And word forms: noun, breach, verb, breach, breaches, breached, breaching. Adjective: breachable. Word combinations: security breach, important; breach of contract, important; breach of trust, again important; breach in relations, rarely we use. And what are the synonyms? Violation, infringement, this goes more with border; rupture, transgression, trespass, they go more with crossing the border. But when it comes to the word breach, generally it goes with agreement, contract, rules and regulations, all those. Antonyms: compliance, an important word we have got many a time; adherence, observance, respect. Comply with means what? Adhere to, stick to, abide by. All these again, many of our students know. They have at the fingertips. What is the second one? Perhaps this is the only word we have got for the first time and you should focus on. Conciliatory. What does it mean? Part of speech adjective. Meaning: intended to make peace, reduce hostility, or gain goodwill. Imagine someone does something to reduce the tensions, to establish some sort of peace, then we use this. Pacify, pacifist. Who is a pacifist? A person who doesn't want war. Very good. Example: the leader's conciliatory tone means patching up tone, helped ease tensions between the two parties. Helped ease the tensions. This is again very important. Why is it important? Very good. Who is that? Sweta. Phlegmatic. That's an important word. And coming to help, helped ease tensions. Help, and there are other words, important verbs like make, help, let, get, have. They come under causative verbs. And what are the two rules that you should recollect? Causative verbs never take the preposition to in active voice. Causative verbs can take, they do take the preposition to in passive voice. Help to ease, usually the same sentence in the exam they may give. Help to ease, then it is not correct. Help to ease the tensions between the two parties. Word forms: conciliatory, adjective, and noun conciliation, conciliate, verb form. Word combinations: conciliatory approach, gesture, an important combination; tone, obviously, an important one; and move. All these combinations are important. And if you ask me, sir, where do they help? When it comes to fillers, when it comes to close test, it is all about the word combinations. This knowledge will help over there. Synonyms: pacifying, appeasing, an important word; mollifying, an important word; soothing goes with everyday English; peacemaking, making simple. Antonyms: hostile, antagonistic, confrontational, aggressive. But when you see these, I usually tell students: hostility, hostile, antagonistic, enmity. These words again you should recollect. Important words. All these words are very important. Coming to the word impart, it goes with knowledge. This word also we have got many a time. What is this? Impart, part of speech verb. It's a regular verb. Meaning: to communicate or pass on information, knowledge, or wisdom. When I try to give my knowledge to others, then what is the word I can use? I am trying to impart my knowledge. Good words. I see some students, inimical, very good. I appreciate that. So many new words and new students also. I appreciate, really appreciate your contribution. Example: usually it goes with teachers, professors. What do they try to do? They try to impart knowledge. The professor imparted valuable knowledge to his students, obviously. Word forms: verb impart, imparts, imparted, imparting. Noun: impartment. Rarely we use this word as a noun, usually it is used as a verb. It's a regular verb. Word combinations, as I said: knowledge, wisdom, information. Impart a sense of confidence or something. Synonyms: convey, communicate, transmit, bestow, an important word; share. Withhold, conceal, suppress, keep back. Simple expression, but bestow is an important word you should focus on. We have one idiom, four words and one idiom. What is the idiom we have got? Close on the heels of something. Close on the heels. It's an idiom. Following very closely in time or space. Something happens immediately after something else, then we use something follows, we use this idiom. Look at the example. The government announced a new policies close on the heels of the economic crisis. Economic crisis immediately followed by new policies. Then we should use this one. Word forms, no word forms as such. Idioms cannot be touched. Word combinations follow close on the heels of, come close, follow close, come close. These two expressions you should remember. Synonyms immediately after, shortly after, right behind, long after, far apart, with a delay. Simple words easy to make out. That's all about, as I said, today the words are exactly. That is true, Vishnu. Today we have got only four words, all the four words except conciliatory, familiar words, and only one idiom that is also a familiar one. Coming to the how does it start? Building capacities. This is all about the foreign tour of External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar. When you know it is about a foreign minister's visit to other countries, you should be able to guess the broad framework. Obviously, why does an external affairs minister visit other countries? For tie-ups. And these tie-ups could be in the fields of, in the spheres of one economic field, another political, if at all there are some problems, and also developmental side, all these aspects, or if at all there is a problem related to the diaspora, they may touch those also. But generally, a visit abroad by the Prime Minister or External Affairs Minister focuses more on economic dimension. Building capacities, what is the main idea? India can gain from accelerated trade diplomacy, as I said, economic dimension, based on that trade diplomacy. So, a visit to other countries to improve the diplomatic ties in the sphere of, in the arena of, in the realm of trade or business or economic dimension. India can gain from accelerated. Accelerate means what? To speed up. And you should also recollect the word expedite. Expedite means what? To speed up. Accelerated trade diplomacy in Europe. So this visit basically to Europe to accelerate trade diplomacy. Against the backdrop of today, you all know the US President Donald Trump has imposed tariffs. Perhaps based on that, they wanted to do something and they are focusing more on Europe. Let us see what are the countries the External Affairs Minister has visited. The security breach. When External Affairs Minister Mr. Jaishankar visited the UK, there was a security breach. Means what? One person went very close to the minister. That is like security breach. Based on that, it starts with that. The security breach where a Khalisani protester approached External Affairs Minister as Jaishankar's car in London overshadowed the headlines on his week-long visit to the United Kingdom and Ireland. Overshadowed means people did not focus, the media did not focus more on those the reasons behind the tie-ups behind the visit, but focused more on the security breach. The security breach overshadowed the headlines on his week-long visit to the United Kingdom and Ireland. The UK. Again, you should, as a smart learner, eclipse also you can say, supplant, eclipse. Dhoni, oh, looks like obfuscate, wonderful, looks like a new student. And here, when you see before the names of some countries, we should use a definite article, the. Familiar ones, the US, the UK. But important ones from the exam point of view, the Netherlands, the Irish Republic. We can say Ireland, we can also say the Irish Republic, we should use. And also the Philippines. These you should recollect. When he visited these two countries, this particular security breach overshadowed other headlines, and the Ministry of External Affairs (MEA) made its displeasure clear. Obviously, who hosted the UK, and Indian government is not happy about the security breach. Based on that, and the Ministry of External Affairs made its displeasure clear to the ministers, British hosts. Means the British officials, obviously. India is not happy. The scheduled visit, however, was not changed. Though there was a security breach, they did not change the schedule, went ahead with the schedule. And here I would like to tell something interesting. Usually we say schedule, but Americans don't say schedule, they say schedule. And there's a difference between not all the words, a few words, perhaps 30 to 40 words, the way we pronounce or Britishers pronounce and the way Americans pronounce. For example, schedule, schedule, issue, issue, nephew, nephew. And don't get confused if someone uses American pronunciation. The scheduled visit, however, was not changed, and Mr. Jaishankar sidestepped the scare. Means ignored the scare. Scare means what? A threat. Scare has, you all know the word scare, scary, means frightening. And sidestepped the scare means ignored. Announcing that India-UK relations were set for a very big pickup. Positive note, despite the complex history and current problems. Despite. As a smart learner, you should, nugatory. As a smart, Swetha, very good. As a smart learner, you should recollect despite of, not correct. And in spite of should be written as three separate words. Here, announcing that India-UK relations were set for a very big pickup, means improve drastically. Despite the complex history. Why complex history? Britishers ruled us, they exploited, they plundered, and before the advent of Britishers, India was a rich country. India had well-established industries, but in a systematic way, they spoiled all that, and they also, we all know, plundered. Though positive aspects are there, and current problems, right now some problems are there, so they wanted to focus on these two dimensions. India is building its capacities in the UK with two consulates in Manchester and Belfast, while Mr. Jaishankar's extended talks with UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy focused on the much delayed conclusion of a free trade agreement FTA. Building capacities, how does the editorial start? Building capacities. Based on that, the construction of consulates in the UK. India is building its capacities in the UK. How? With two consulates, one in Manchester, the other in Belfast, while Mr. Jaishankar's extended talks, means a prolonged talks with UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy focused on the much delayed conclusion of. Something has been delayed, something has got extended, prolonged. What is it? Of a free trade agreement FTA. This got delayed. The agreement, which was due to be finished after UK's Brexit in 2020. Oh, it was due to be finished. It is in passive voice. Due to be finished way back in 2020. After UK's Brexit in 2020, has missed the deadlines. After that, it has missed deadlines. Not one, put off means postponed, perhaps many. Talks over an FTA dominated discussions in Ireland too, and came days after India and the European Union committed to concluding the bilateral trade agreement BTA. There are three parties over here. One is the UK, the other the Ireland, and the third one European Union. And based on that BTA, for which talks began in 2007 by the end of 2025. They want to finish this by the end of 2025. A lot of delay, 2007, 2025, a long time period. Bilateral trade with the UK, 52 billion US dollars, and Ireland, 17 billion US dollars, are underpowered, and discussions on enhancing collaborations, especially in high-tech trade, were on the agenda in both capitals. It talks about the same thing, the purpose of the visit, trying to improve high-tech trade, especially in high-tech trade, collaborations, enhancing collaborations, in which dimension, in which field, high-tech trade were on the agenda in both capitals. The FTA talks India-UK restarted last month, and India-EU another round this week will benefit. Will benefit. All these talks, what will they do? They will benefit, obviously. It talks about future tense. Will benefit from India's more conciliatory position on import duties with the US. US tariffs obviously are pushing a lot of countries to think of alternatives, in a way punishing. Based on that, this expression. When it comes to the US, India has taken a stand. What is that? More conciliatory position on import duties with the US. And against that backdrop, the tie-ups with the UK, Ireland, European Union will definitely benefit India with the US, which have been a sticking point for them as well. Which have been present perfect active voice. A sticking point means not happy, unhappy rather, for them also. The entire world, because of Trump's tariffs, no country is happy. Based on that, a sticking point for them as well. The government's decision to reduce tariffs on wines and spirits, motor and electric vehicles, in deference to US President. Defer means what? Defer. You can say defer also. One is to postpone. The other is to oppose. To US President, Trump's demands is a case in point, and more cuts are expected in negotiating as India-US BTA. Right now, things are not going well between India and the US. Based on that, perhaps they are looking for other sources. In that sense, Mr. Trump's reordering of US alliances and trade policy may well have been the wind in Mr. Jaishankar's sails. That means the wind in Jaishankar's sails. Look at the wording. It means the reason behind Jaishankar's visit. What is the reason behind or the motivation behind Jaishankar's visit to Europe and the countries like the UK and Ireland? Differences with the US. In that sense, Mr. Trump's reordering of US alliances and trade policy may well have been the wind in Mr. Jaishankar's sails. The trip followed visits to Delhi by a high-power EU delegation led by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and a senior ministerial and business team led by Belgian Princess Astrid that imparted the sense that Europe is looking for new, more dependable friends. As I said, because of Donald Trump, not only India, other countries also, they are looking for new partners. They have depended on the US for quite some time. Because of the new policies, they don't want to be with the US. They are looking for the new partners. The sentence talks about that. High power EU delegation led by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and a senior ministerial and business team led by Belgian Princess Astrid that imparted the sense that Europe is looking for new, more dependable friends. Now, who is not dependable here? The US is not dependable. All weather friends. Okay, very good. Mr. Jaishankar's visit also came close on the heels of the dramatic showdown at the White House between Mr. Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Something to do with the showdown between the US President and Ukrainian President, which led to an urgent summit of non-US NATO countries being held in London, where UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer committed to support Ukraine with a coalition of the willing. It's all like one particular incident triggered many events. Then we use the word cascade. Cascade of events means a series of events. Entire world got the showdown between the US president and Ukrainian president. It was like an eye-opener. And many countries got the shock. Based on that, all these, the response in a way you can say in a way. As geopolitical and geofinancial calculations are being reworked across the Atlantic, India stands to gain by accelerated diplomacy and offering a hand of friendship to both sides. Everything is changing across the Atlantic. Left side you have the US, right side you have Europe, and things are changing. Slew also you can. Very good. Govardhan Reddy. And here, based on that, as geopolitical and geofinancial calculations are being reworked, they are reworking on something. Something is being reworked. It is present continuous passive voice. Across the Atlantic, India stands to gain. India is going to get benefited because of all these changes by accelerated diplomacy and offering a hand of friendship to both sides. That's all about today's editorial. Not that difficult to. Myriad means many. Who is a Sweta? Very good. Not that difficult to comprehend, but for one or two sentences, then you should read twice or thrice. That should be, then it becomes easy for you to comprehend. Try to answer these questions based on your comprehension skill as well as your listening skill. What was the primary focus of External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to the UK and Ireland? A lot of students have answered B, discussing the free trade agreement and bilateral trade collaborations. Yes, FTA. BTA with European Union. What overshadowed the headlines during Jaishankar's visit to the UK? A particular incident overshadowed the headlines. What is that particular incident? A security breach involving a Khalistani protester. You don't have to go beyond A. When you read a question like this, you know the answer is the first option. Ignore the other options. Go ahead with the first one. Go to the next question. You can save a few seconds. Why has the India-UK free trade agreement been delayed? The agreement between India and the UK got delayed. What is the reason behind? The UK has prioritized trade with the US over India. No, I think the reason is Brexit related issues have delayed negotiations. B is the answer. Very good. How has India shown a conciliatory position in trade negotiations? By increasing tariffs on imported goods, by reducing tariffs on wine, spirits, and vehicles. I think this has been mentioned clearly, explicit information. 4 is C or B. By withdrawing from free trade agreement discussions? No, no. Answer is B, not. Only a few students have got B. B is the answer. Why is Europe looking for new, more dependable friends? Due to a shift in US alliances and trade policies? Economic influence? No, no. Answer is again A is the answer. You don't have to go beyond that. Now let us go to questions based on mini mocks. First one is about error location. Try to spot the error. The rescue teams worked in a near continuous 60-hour shift amidst heavy snowfall at an elevation of 10,500 feet above the mean sea level. This is not easy, a challenging one. What is wrong with the first part? There is nothing wrong with the first part. The rescue teams worked. This is not okay. Lavanya says B. B is right, but what is wrong with that part? Here we cannot say near continuous. The right word to be used over here, nearly continuous. Near continuous, not correct. Nearly continuous. We need to use adverbial form. Very good. Those who have chosen B, I appreciate. Wonderful. Not easy. Filler avalanches in the Himalayan states, like the one in Mana, are not, making them a constant risk to those residing there. They are not what? Adverb, adjective. Question is based on word form. Very good. Who is this? Govardhan Reddy. C. Unwarranted. No. Answer is A. They are not unusual. They are regular. No, 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 no. Here, Unwarranted means not required. It goes with a different context. Imagine someone makes a statement when a statement not expected, not required. Then we say unwarranted, unwanted behavior, unwanted statement. Here it talks about avalanches in the Himalayan states like the one in Mana are not unusual. They are usual. They are not unusual means what? They are usual. Then it becomes a risky thing to be there. No one has chosen A. How come? A few. Shyamala has chosen, Malleshwari has chosen, Sunny also, Surya. Very good. Word usage, extraction. In which sentence it has been used properly? The extraction of minerals from deep inside the earth requires advanced machinery, seems right. The rescue teams focused on the extraction of survivors from the avalanche site, incorrectly used. The dentist suggested an extraction of the damaged tooth. All the three seem to be right. The scientist conducted an extraction to study, not an extraction. Here we have to say, what is the right word? Experiment. Scientists conduct what? Experiments. Conducted an experiment. So answer incorrectly used. D is the answer. Have you guys chosen? Very good. I appreciate it. Choose a synonym. Inhospitable. What is the word? Inhospitable. Experiment. Oh, very good. Dhoni. Comfortable. First you have to know it is a negative word. Positive word, positive word, positive word. So what is inhospitable? Hostile. Inhospitable terrain means what? Hostile terrain, not easy to survive. We have another question based on pillars, but not one. Double pillar. Avalanches are highly phenomena, making it essential to develop better for workers' safety. Here you should choose. Highly predictable? No. Unpredictable, based on that, you cannot use better mechanisms. No. Better hindrances? Not at all. Better policies. So what is the answer? B is the answer. Yes, very good. You guys got it right. We have another question based on error location. The rescue operation employed a drone-based detection system to detect the containers that was buried under several feet of snow, ice and rock. This is rather easy. D, what is wrong with the D? Yes. Here we are talking about to detect the containers. Containers are plural, then we cannot use the word was. We have to use a primary auxiliary in the plural form, not in the singular form. Were. Containers that were. That's all for today. An easy editorial, familiar words, and these questions also. If you have got all the 6 questions right, that's wonderful. Today is your day. You should be very happy. Okay. 3 wrong. No problem. Sometimes it happens. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.